Except, hello? Is this Mr. John Smith? Speaking. Mr. Smith, this is Dr. Brown from Central City Hospital. We last spoke about a month ago when your daughter was being treated here. Okay. I remember last month very well, doctor. Why are you calling? You may have forgotten, but last time you were here, you left your wife's medical files with me. Thanks to them, we finally analyzed the cause of death, both your wife and your daughter. Okay. That's good. I'm not calling you to bring the subject back to the surface necessarily, but we are legally obliged to pass it on to you. Okay. And what did you find out? The results imply a possible health risk for you. It's the main reason why I'm calling, not just sending over the files via the postal service. Okay. Don't let this cause you any unnecessary panic. There's no acute danger, just a possible future risk that can be ruled out through a series of short checks. Just say what it is. What exactly are we talking about? Could you stop being so cryptic? Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to make a diagnosis over the phone, as you weren't a patient in our hospital yourself. We have to comply with the current data protection laws, Mr. Smith. I'm sorry. Could you drop by in the next few days? That is not helpful at all. That is... I won't be able to function. I'm really not interested in setting foot in your hospital ever again, doctor. Honestly. I understand, but I have no other alternative. Instead of giving you a diagnosis, you can take it with you to any specialist of your choice. And then it has to take place here after our meeting. When should I come by? I can do this outside my regular hours if this suits your schedule better. This weekend, any day next week after 6 p.m. would be fine. Then I'll come by today. I'll put you down as an appointment then. Just ask for my office once you arrive. I'll see you later then. Why can't it just stop? Damn, you just throw the phone? That's a nice phone. Come in, please. Hey, see, I want to get this over with quickly. I understand. So, when you left the medical records of your wife's passing with me, I took them and compared them to everything we found on your daughter's condition. Specifically compared to the symptoms both had before progressing to the unknown outcome and noticed similarities. On the basis of these extended tests were carried out, which produced a clear result. Both suffered and died from a form of CAD, coronary artery disease. Not curable, almost carefree to live with thanks to good medication discovered early. Not recognized, it can lead to sudden heart failure. Stress situations for the body are the most common triggers. Like childbirth or sporting activities. Among other things, yes. Although not clearly clinically proven, it can be passed on to one's own child. Whether it was passed on from the mother or father is irrelevant here. I think it's pretty relevant. Since your wife's symptoms were the same as your daughter's, most likely that this is where she inherited the disease. However, it cannot be ruled out that you could also have a genetic predisposition to it. I've summarized and documented this for you. I'm happy to provide you with a list of experts I recommend that you could contact for follow-up examination. As I mentioned on the phone, it is not an immediate problem, if one at all. We should let this get checked out as soon as possible. Why am I hearing this now? Why am I hearing this 8 years after my wife's death from a doctor who works in a different city and in a different clinic? Why was this not recognized at the time? You're not some kind of miracle healer. I thought that comparable means to detect this were unavailable back then. What do you mean it's not been proven that it can be inherited? You seem to believe it yourself, strongly enough to recommend a follow-up examination for me. And what does that mean for my daughter? If it had been notified after my wife died, would Maddie be here now? What could I have done so that it would have been properly diagnosed back then? And please don't do this to yourself. It was clearly an oversight from the doctors back then. They should have. I don't think there's anything he could have done. Oh. Is it in chapter 1? I thought we were already in chapter 2. Huh. Okay. Why is this man on the bridge? Hmm. I hope he's not thinking about doing what I think he's thinking about doing. Okay. I don't think she's listening anymore. I think she's focused on the man at the bridge. Damn. She politely told her Susan to shut up. She's like, run, girl, you the run. Yeah. Besides a bridge. Damn. Empathy gone. Oh man. We have to respond. We have to respond. You're trying to play the role of the understanding old lady. You're doing a really bad job. She was doing good until that last part. Look, just because you're having a bad day, I have to be nice to you or stand here aghast as you force me to watch whatever you're about to do. To make such a behavior on a bad day is already selfish enough, but to then demand sympathy for what it takes, takes the cake. Have you always been such an obnoxious brat? That's crazy. Now that I have your attention, you might as well humor me. Care to spare some time for a short conversation with an understanding old lady? Or bring someone with your intentions to this place? Come on. I don't have all day. You have children. A daughter, yes. Do you have a good relationship with her? I'd do anything for her, and she'd do the same for me. What would you do if you were responsible for her death? If you're the one who killed her? Well, that depends, doesn't it? Did I pull the trigger? Did I tell someone to do it? So I just stand by and let it happen. That kind of question required a little more context. She ain't wrong. Well, you don't look like someone who could do this. It's your eyes. They're too soft. That's a good thing. Have you ever met someone who has? Put his hands on what he created? Someone who looks up to him without nothing but the utmost mistrust and appreciation? Someone whose well-being completely depended on him and can be broken with just a little too much pressure? To be able to do that and be aware of every moment of it takes a lot. Maybe not even be human. Once you've met someone like that, maybe you'll look into the mirror differently and reflect on your self-analysis. So, did you really kill her? Or was there more to the story? I could have saved her from what happened to her. At the time it happened, now that you've had time to think about it. Doesn't matter. Of course it does. Look, I'm not going to pretend to understand how you feel right now. No amount of emotion changes the logic of a situation. So, go back inside yourself and answer this question for me and for yourself. Did you really do what you said you did? Or are you just an poor innocent soul who had the most important part of your life taken away? Now you're desperately trying to find a reason why it happened, or at least find someone to blame. She's hit the nail on the head. The reason I could find is going to help me with how I feel about it. And I never will. You feeling your memories of her will stay with you forever. As much as you dread them right now, the more you'll smile later as you realize they're reminders of the good times you had together. And I should accept that as the truth and carry on because no woman sharing her wisdom tells me so. She's trying to help you. I'll give you a free pass today, darling. At the end of the day, in the future, if you mention my age again, I'll remind you of all the reasons why you shouldn't. And what helped you reach your conclusion in the first place. Let's just say you and I aren't that different when it comes to life's tragedies. You lost something very precious to you. I lost my husband. You couldn't protect your daughter, and I couldn't protect mine. Is she okay? Don't worry, she's fine. Mostly. It's just that life has given her wounds that will never heal, and I'm content to walk next to her and see her hurt every day. But enough about me. Now I'm curious what exactly happened to you up to this point. You want to tell me the whole story? How much time do you have? If it helps you, all the time in the world. But only if we get off the bridge. It's a little too windy for me up here for my liking. Will that girl over there drag me off if I say no? Don't worry about him. He's just a dear friend of mine who happens to accompany me on my daily excursions to make sure I have a pleasant day. It would be much worse for you if I had to be the one who dragged you off this bridge. Believe me. Okay. Now give me your arm. A little advice for the future. Next time a lady deliberately walks close to you, offer your arm without her needing to ask for it. Is everything okay there, Miss Williams? Yes, dear. Thank you. Nothing to worry about. We're just having a friendly conversation over here. You can go back to whatever you were doing. You know, ask it for a full name. Your first name wouldn't happen to be Charlotte, would it? And what if it is? Then I would say I didn't think I would meet Charlotte Williams in this way. Consider me surprised. I didn't think I'd have fans in your age group. Investment bankers have fans? Only the very successful ones, but I think most of whom you could call fans related to my late husband's career. Also, they tend to be a lot older and have a bit of a belly. You were certainly an improvement in that department. His career. See, I knew you were a little young. I can't blame you. It's almost 30 years ago. Most people don't remember, but tell me, how exactly do you know my name? We've never done business together. Quite sure because I remember all the people I've done business with. Hmm. It was business, at least as far as I can remember. It wasn't with me personally. It was a long time ago. Family then? Let me guess. I play it safe and say the connection was on your father's side of the family. Father is not a term I will use for him, but yes. Now I'm really curious. Is that a contributing factor to today's circumstance? Because if it is, just tell me his name. I'm not too shy to bend over and spank a man for being a bad parent. Okay. As much fun as it would be to watch, I have a feeling that even you wouldn't be able to do anything to him at this point. You're aware that you're drawing a very narrow circle with that statement. There aren't many people in the city that I would actively avoid. Then let me explain again, for you. No one who met him in business or in private kept in touch with him afterwards. Well, looks like I'll have to do some digging to satisfy my curiosity. But that's for the future. Let's find the business it on, and then you can call me what brought you here today. Or tell her, as they call. It's basically the gist of it, and now we're here. At first I thought you were just irrational, but after that story, you're downright witless. Damn. That is kind of uncalled for. Is it? Let me tell you what is uncalled for. Were you seriously on the bridge because you condemned a young father left with a newborn baby in his arms after the death of his wife for not thinking clearly, and I asked for tests that he didn't know existed? True. Well, if you put it that way. I can put it in a couple more ways if you want. I'm good, thank you. But I'm sure there are just as many people who wouldn't count that as a good excuse. That is the funny thing about life. There's always somebody with an opinion about something that has nothing to do with them. And do you know what I would say to those people? Listen to a rant. Who the hell do you think you are to tell someone else that you know nothing about the right way to deal with their grief is? Do you think you're some kind of expert whose insight to someone else's situation is in some way infallible? Okay. Prescribing the legitimate way to grieve, to limit it to an artifact duration. How long would be acceptable? A month? A year? 10 years? Until death? Preaching what they would do in someone's situation about what would be the right thing to do. And what do they really know? Do they know how it feels when you see children playing and not have your own here by your side? Do they know what it's like to be so crippled by life that they can only move around in a wheelchair, confined to your own room? And so, what if someone has a similar situation? Would someone even ever be close enough? What if they have someone to fall back on, but the other person doesn't? What if the other person doesn't have anyone left in their life and has to go through all the pain alone? Is it really the same for both of them? No one can honestly say what the right way to cope is, because no one can ever experience life through someone else's eyes. Yes, you might imagine yourself in their predicament, but you'll never be the other person. You wouldn't feel their emotions. You would bring your own emotional baggage that would completely alter the situation. The same situation will be clearly different for you than it is for me, because in the end, everyone is just a collection of what they experience since birth. All of that shapes us as individuals. And isn't that wonderful? There was no one like you. There is no one like you. And there will never be. Everything that happens to you is unique because you are the one experiencing it. But that also means every problem you encounter is unique to you. You're gonna have to solve them mostly on your own. I think that in the end, there is really only one thing you can do, and that is to listen to your heart, to what feels right, and to do exactly that. The right thing for you and you alone. Facts. However, just before you act, don't forget to consult this as well. For as you discovered today, what seems right can turn out to be as deceptive as quicksand. It can overwhelm you and drag you into the wrong decisions. Sounds easier the way you say it. Just do it the right way. I'm not saying I have it all figured out. Hell, I've made plenty of bad decisions based on my emotions. Just ask my daughter. What is life without growth? At the very least, I can admit my mistakes to myself and try to do better next time, carefully considering all the options available to me. And what would you say if I asked for your advice on what's the right thing for me to do is right now? You mentioned documents in your story, didn't you? I don't see any. How about you finish the unfinished? Go back and pick them up. And then what? What should I do after that? Small steps, one at a time. Life is sure to throw something in your path. Sounds like something I can at least try to do. Good boy. Want me to drop you off over at the hospital? No, thank you. The walk will do me good. Small steps gives me time to think. And off you go. I don't intend to move until I've lost sight of you walking in the right direction. So no games. I'd say it was a pleasure to meet you, but I'm not sure I want to lie. You better hope we don't meet again with a mouth like that. The way life is treating me right now, I'm sure it will happen one way or another. Do you want someone to follow him? No, I don't think that will be necessary. He'll stay on the right path, at least for now. It seems that there was not a lot going on. There was a lot going on all at once, and he was completely overwhelmed. But you know what you could do? Be a sweetheart and get my phone from the car. And the verified suspicion that I have. Yeah, because she doesn't know who he is truly. As for what the situation was, it may have opened a very interesting door for me. Yes, ma'am. There's no need to hurry, darling. I feel this one is not going to run away quickly. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do, at least for now, because I feel like, let's see, I feel like I had issues pushing out more videos, and I want to push these out quicker, but I don't have the time in the day to make like hour-long videos, so I'll try to at least make them 30 minutes and then just push out videos, read adult visual novels as I can, because I have more stuff to push out. I don't have the time to do an hour here, an hour there, an hour here, an hour there with so much stuff. So I'm gonna change it up. We're gonna do 30 minutes at least, and I'm just gonna knock them out as much as I can, just for y'all. So this is the missing part. We're now in chapter 2, which I thought we were already in chapter 2, because in the bottom right, that's what it says, but I guess we're kind of still in chapter 1. But that's fine. Making progress. I think it's gonna be very interesting. Next part will be coming out soon, most likely this week. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, and I will catch y'all in the next one.